So this is the only Thanksgiving Day segment that I had planned to do. And I had a lot of time to think about this. First, happy Thanksgiving to you all. I hope my Dallas Cowboys win, but they probably won't because Cooper Rush is trash. That said, I wanted to talk with you about Ohio State and Michigan, and I want to talk about Jeremiah Smith, and I want to talk about what this game is meant to, because this game is particularly important for Ohio State, as you very well know, but Ohio State players, as you also know, because this is what they came back for. They came back, Jack Sawyer, JT Tuimoloau, Emeka Egbuka, Jordan Hancock, Denzel Burke, keep going on and on down the line, man. They came back because they have not won a set of gold pants. It means never beat Michigan. They have not won a Big Ten championship. As a matter of fact, I'll point this out only to make this real for you. When Jack Sawyer came in to Ohio State had just won Big Ten championship and played in the national championship game. And the year before that, they won the Big Ten championship, right? It's a team that had not really known losing to Michigan for like 8 years. And then Jack Sawyer and his class show up and they lose the game. And they don't play for a national championship. And they lose the game again. And they don't play for a national championship. And they lose the game again. And they never sniff the Big Ten championship. They got to watch Michigan win that thing against what was always going to be a not-so-good Big Ten West team. Now that we've gone away with divisions, we could probably see something like this. But this is the game that he needs. This is the game that they need. And I was having a conversation with a player on the roster. Don't need to divulge a name. Just player on the roster at Ohio State. And we were talking about his journey, and I was talking to him about how I got to know C.J. Stroud's mom and how I became interested in Ohio State and Ohio State football, and Justin Fields and his dad, Avant, who really helped put me on it at Fox, if I'm going to be honest about this. So what had happened was my boss called me and he said, hey, would you like to work at Fox? I was like, hell yes, I would like to work at Fox. And he said, okay, we're going to give you like a 4-day contract. 4-day contract, for those of you who don't know, is 4 stories, right? And he told me, what's your Michael Jordan story? And I was like, ooh, like what player, what coach, who would you go get? And I said Justin Fields. And this is 2020, right? Because Justin had just basically told everybody we need to play, right? And Justin had transferred to Ohio State and become the dude that would really set a tone for that program and what it was capable of. And I wanted to know more about him. Well, I couldn't get to Justin Fields, right? For that matter, couldn't really get to C.J. Stroud until media days the next year. But Avant watched this show, and he said, hey, dog, like, what you doing getting at me? I love your show. I love what you do. And I was floored, because how would I know Justin Fields' dad was watching me on YouTube? And from there, he said, what you need? I said, I'm actually looking to write a profile of Justin. And he goes, oh, cool. What you want to know? So I got to know him. And that story is anywhere you want to look for it. It's got a lot of him in there. There's a lot of great stories. My favorite story being that Justin's dad didn't think that Justin was like super talented in Little League, because Little League, Justin would do what he thought all children would do, right? Which is make plays, do what kids do. But other kids looked uncoordinated, were falling down, didn't know what to do around Justin. And one of the parents had to come up to him and go, it ain't that our kids are so bad, it's that your kid is so good. And he was like, oh, my fault, my bad. And that kept going all the way through for Justin, right? It's one of the reasons that I ride for Justin, and I ride for his family anywhere I can, because those things matter. So I was relating that story to this player. He's going to see, you know us. Like, you make the effort to know us. You make the effort to know our families, to know our parents. Like, one of the things that I always do when I'm talking to a kiddo for the first time is I say, hey, is your mom's or your dad around? It's like, no. Okay, well, let me call back when they are so they can talk to me. And I get to know them. They get to know me. They know how to reach me, so that, everybody knows that who's talking is how we talking. And he was making reference to that, and he was going, my mama, she like you because, you would not show up demanding nothing. You want to get to know people, You also upfront about it. If I wasn't committed to Ohio State or going to Ohio State, maybe we don't talk. And I'm like, hey, look, now that I'm here, I want to be in on the journey. Whatever it is that you need, I'm going to try to help with. And there have been some things. But I'm grateful that this dude gets a chance this Saturday on perhaps the best team that he's ever going to be a part of to go beat a team that has caused him such misery and such pain. Like I always tell people, the way you know that a rivalry is real is people don't celebrate after winning it. They feel relief. Okay, cool. I'm not going to get dunked on when I go to work. I'm not going to get dunked on at Sunday school in the morning. I'm not going to have to deal with the pastor coming out here talking about what we didn't get done on Saturday, but what we are going to get done on Sunday. I get to just, ooh. And then if I get to see a player a fan of that rival team, I get to give them what it is for 364 more days. And I love that because that's what it is. That makes the stakes real for us. And at Ohio State, they're always real, man. This is what life is about for them. It is about beating Michigan, and then the next 364 days about meeting Michigan. And the same thing is true for Michigan and Ohio when they think of Ohio State. And I think now with guys like Jeremiah Smith joining up in the way that he did, one of the things that I would love to relate to you is Ryan Day was smart to keep the black stripe ritual that Urban Meyer put in place because it allows for outsiders to understand what this player has meant early on since getting there. And Smith was the first dude to lose his black stripe. And everybody would tell you, NFL ready, right now. We don't say that about guys that come to Ohio State because, well, it's Ohio State. But this dude is unlike anybody we've ever seen. And not only is he doing that on a football field, it seems that they've done such a good job of instilling in him, this is what it means to wear the scarlet and gray. This is what it means to play at the shoe. This is what it will mean to beat to beat Michigan at Ohio State. And he is drinking it up. And Caleb Downs is drinking it up. And Will Howard's drinking it up. Quinshon Judkins is drinking it up. And Ryan Day has been selling out, giving up the play calling privileges, which is a thing I know he loves to do, so that they can win this game. So if nothing else, I am grateful that those dudes get an opportunity one last time to make this happen. And I'm going to remind you that, yeah, it feels like Michigan ducked Ohio State in 2020. But the story that I ended up writing for Fox, as part of one of those 4 stories, was what it meant to lose the game. And that's also one of my favorite stories too, because it reminds me that these things on Saturday that we're going to do are not given. They're not a given. Savor it, enjoy it. And if you are on the winning side, know that I will feel relief with you. And I'll be having text messages sent and phone calls the very next day with at least one dude that wears the scarlet and gray.